We are not moving off of these three charts. Study these three charts, crypto crew. What do you see? Stocks got nuked. Total market meltdown in the Dow. But guess what? Bitcoin standing tall, holding its ground like a champ. Is this the decoupling that we've all been waiting for? Bitcoin finally breaking free as its own independent asset, a store of value? And with Trump's tariff chaos shaking things up in the old financial world, could this be Bitcoin's liberation day, its own independence day from the old financial system that we have been freaking trying to nuke since 2012? Stick around, crypto crew, because we're diving deep into what's happening right now. Welcome back, crypto crew. It's your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in Bitcoin and crypto action. If you're ready to dive into today's market analysis, give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already, and come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. So let's break this down. Earlier in the week, the stock market started to get a little wobbly. But as we saw as the week progressed on Friday, basically we had a total meltdown. The stock market took a beating. The S&P down, the Dow Jones down. But guess what? Everything was in Tanksville except for one little thing. Investors got freaked out, risk assets on. They got slaughtered. Over 180 million in Bitcoin futures got liquidated. But was it chaos? In the old financial world it was. But however, Bitcoin didn't blink. Bitcoin didn't blink. It dipped to around 81,000. The bulls held the line right there. Kudos to them. By Friday, it was back above 83,500, flexing its muscle while the stocks kept bleeding. Meanwhile, this is what's the interesting part. Meanwhile, if we go over to gold, gold has not acted normally. Gold basically is saying right now that, what's happening really in gold as it came up was non-inflationary pressures. Now, global asset managers probably have realized that, these tariffs aren't as big as a deal as what's going on in the United States. The asset managers here are concerned with. They're basically trying to paint a narrative, right? They're trying to paint a narrative, and they're trying to force the Fed to lower rates. They are the lords of easy money. Now, if Kamala Harris would have been elected, they would have cut rates the first week. But considering it's a Trump administration and the Powell does not like Trump, that this is totally a political game. So really what this is really showing us is that in reality, if gold was actually going to make a move, it would have came off a little bit before the market chaos, and then it would have came up, broke through the high, used that high as a support, and boom, went to newer high, bigger highs, maybe up to 4,000, but it's not doing that. So we have some things that are going on right here that are just not normal. And this really could be the decoupling that we've been looking for, okay? So for years, Bitcoin moved lockstep with stocks. It was risk on, risk off. It was constantly in the same. It was just basically lockstep. But now stocks getting crushed, and Bitcoin's like, nah, I'm good. Okay, it's finally its own beast, an independent asset class. Some analysts think so. They're pointing to macro shifts, Trump's trade policies, Fed's hesitation with the rate cut, saying Bitcoin's less tied to Wall Street drama and more about its own story. Speaking of Trump, his family's all in, launching American Bitcoin with Hut 8, pushing the Liberty Financial stablecoin with a strategic Bitcoin reserve on the table. Is this the liberation day for crypto? An independence day where Bitcoin says, see ya, traditional finance? This is exactly what we've been waiting for. And this is exactly the shakeup to kind of open up the eyes of the world so that you can see something's different. Something is different this time. Gold is not acting as if this is the end of the, this is, the tariffs are an inflationary spike. It's not. Basically, let's talk technicals, okay? Let's go on over to the charts. If we first of all, let's go over to the daily. All right, we got a descending broadening wedge pattern happening here. Now, for those of you that aren't really too familiar with that, it's a megaphone tilting pattern downward. It's basically a classic bullish reversal signal after a downdraft. After a downdraft, this basically is saying that this is a potential reversal upward. Okay. Now, what it's saying technically is the fall's losing steam. Buyers are stepping in at levels down in this area right here. There's obviously they stepped in over there. They're stepping in to buy and support the coin itself. Okay, so it's basically screaming that if this breakout does happen, and we told you the breakout has to occur above, like around 86,000 is the true breakout point. Okay, we've been flirting with it. Now the support is 80,000 on the bottom side, and of course the 76,600 lowest point that we've had in the recent days. That is definitely the support point. Those levels have to hold. The break of 86,000 would be a good sign. So really what we're seeing here is the fall is losing steam. Buyers are stepping in. And if the breakout does occur, we could see like a 77% rally, like back in if we go back to this quarter right here between 2023, it's the same bullish divergence that we're seeing. So is history repeating? Maybe. Long-term Plan B's 200-week moving average says we could possibly double Bitcoin by the year end. Traders are still hedging their bets. Options bets are eyeing a drop below 80,000. It's a tug of war. I really think that they're going to expire useless. But anyway, that's for another day. But before we move on, make sure you're trading with the best. Follow us on Pionex, our go-to broker for new trade setups. We got fresh trades incoming every day. We got ideas. We want you part of our trading room. Click on the link below for daily updates and get in on the action. Don't sleep on this crypto crew. Pionex is where the winners play. So, what's your verdict? Stocks are down big. Bitcoin is holding its own. Decoupling vibes are real. Trump's tariffs might be, just the spark that we need to show the world that we are an independent asset. Are we witnessing history? I think we are. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Bitcoin's breaking free? Smash the like button. Make sure that you follow us on X because we talk about this stuff all day, every day. And remember, always do your own research. Trade with your head, not over it. If you are a day trader, what's the rule? Enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.